Hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on Zoho People Attendance Engine. It contains of shifts, policies, and automation logics. I'm excited to walk you through the care of how attendance is calculated, configured, and automated inside the Zoho People. Let's share my screen. So today's session is designed to help basically for HR manager, admins, payroll teams, attendance or work from home owners who are responsible to take attendance of the all employees in a particular company, and anyone who manage employee work, his work hours or shifts. So these are the today's agenda of the webinar. So why attendance tracking is more important in each organization. Then explore the relationship between productivity and attendance management. After that, we can see how effective track the attendance in the Zoho people. So the attendance engine is the heart of the Zoho people. It make the time management module. Every punch says every check-in or check-out, every working hours, and every calculation is processed through the attendance engine in the Zoho people. So the attendance engine gets in data from multiple source like web check-in, checkout, mobile check-in, checkout also available in a Zoho People for both Android and iOS. The geo-fenced attendance, IP restricted punches, biometric devices, facial recognitions, and attendance APIs and integrations are all available in the Zoho People. So the processing logic follows by the following sequences like when the check-in punch was captured, the allotted shift is defined and sequentially policy validations, attendance, and the data is sent to timesheet or payroll. It be finalized. By these activities, these ensures 100% accuracy without manual involvement. This engine automatically merges the check-in and the identity anomalies, applies project hours, and syncs the final attendance status with payroll and timesheets. So why the attendance management is crucial? Let me see. In the organization across a global have different policies. Some are flexible, some are very strict among them. One of the major problem is lack in business is absenteeisms. So, to ensure increased productivity in attendance management need to be done. It's right. Yeah. Interestingly, many organizations have come up with the time pressure. They come to the realization how to address absenteeisms. So, absenteeism, which means unplanned or a frequent absence that impact the productivity. It gives challenges in productivity, team morale, customer delivery, payroll, and compliances. And also, it was affect the workload balancings of the particular project who are absent in that without a Planned absenteeism, it makes a workload balancing also. So, Zoho People helps HR identify absentee trends yearly and take preventive actions. So, by making use of a Zoho People, you can measure based on analysis of overtime planning, shift allocations, and modifications of existing policies with the planned structures. So we can overcome all the defects of being absenteeisms like workload balancing. We can manage by planning of overtime. Um, so the Zoho people plays one of major roles in keeping the absenteeism records properly. Mm, Absenteeism in Zoho people refers to the situations where an employee is not present at work on day when they are expected to work, and their attendance is automatically marked as absent by the attendance module. So, in a Zoho, people determines absenteeism based on shift assigned, check-in, check-out data, leave applied or not, attendance policy rules, whether the it's like a weekend, it's a holiday or weekend settings. So, by productivity and let's see the productivity and attendance management, how it managed in the Zoho people. Yeah. In Zoho, people allows companies to track when employees work like attendance and how effectively they work like a productivity, both combined to give HR and managers a complete view of employee performance and work disciplines. So, in attendance management in Zoho people, there are multiple ways of attendance management by managing a shift, managing a check-in or check-out tracking, and attendance policies, regularizations like missing punch corrections, shift corrections, and harsh corrections, whether the manager can approve or reject. All these details can view in a single platform named as Zoho People. So, and also view the absence management, like whether the employee is absent or make a half day, so missing a punch or work for a short hours. Also, can monitor through these Zoho people. In the meantime, the productivity management in a Zoho people, there's a two major modules to track the productivity is timesheets. Here is the Zoho people. This is a timesheets. It tracks what work an employee did, like a key features, daily or weekly timesheet entries, log hours to projects or tasks, whether the work was billable are non-billable in hours. Then we make the timesheet approvals and also the productivity percentage calculations, actual versus planned hours. For example, if employee worked 8 hours, 5 hours on a claim project, and 3 hours on an internal task. So, if the employee worked 5 hours on a claim project, it denoted as a billable. For 3 hours an internal task like learning or upskilling their own skills, it come under the non-billable state. This helps measures real work contributions. And also we can make the performance. And also, by tracking of attendance effectively, we can also make the performance metrics. It helps to monitor the quality and output of the particular work of the particular employee. It includes goals, KRAs, KPIs, which means key perform interface, and the competency evaluations of the particular employee on the projects. And the continuous reviews we can view by the performance metrics. This connects attendance to overall productivity performance. So in Zoho People, it combines attendance productivity to give deeper insights like a productivity versus attendance report. We can measure the total working hours, productive hours entered in a timesheet, unproductive or ideal hours, absent days, and overtime productivity can be viewable in the Zoho People. These are the uh, basic format of making a marking a attendance, like whether we can make a lenient or a strict attendance policies as per their company's rules, and also make a biometrics, web and mobile. We can also use mobile to make a attendance. So also the smart cards and regularizations are allowed. So then we move to the shift allocations in a Zoho people. So, shift allocations in a Zoho people is a settings used to define where an employee is expected to work during a specific shift. And also, it helps organization with multiple work sites, branches, offices, or geographic locations and manage attendance accurately. So, let me see why shift location is more important, which means we can track attendance based on our work locations. Yeah. If an employee is assigned to a particular site, attendance rules apply to that locations. Yes, and also apply geofencing restrictions to the shift locations. If you can restrict a check-in or check-out, so the employee must be physically present in the location boundary. And also the third one benefit of the shift locations is assign specific shift rules per locations. Like each sites may have a different working hours, different policies, different break rules, different permissions, and overtime rules. Anyone please response, is my screen is visible to you? Guys, is my screen is visible to you? Okay, thank you for your response. Sorry for the interruptions. So, by making of shift allocations, we can also make the automate shift allocations based on locations to find field teams, retail stores, and factories, multi-branch offices, construction sites. It's very useful for the shift allocations methods. So we see for further class clarifications, I will tell a simple examples of if the company has a multiple branches like in a Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Each branch has different shifts, right? Shift locations ensures employees only check in at their assigned branches. So by this way, the shift allocations in a Zoho people defines the physical place where an employee must work during a shift, and ensure attendance is recorded only within that locations using a GPS or geofencings. So these are the types of shifts inside the Zoho peoples. So general shifts or rotational shifts, night shifts, split shifts, and dynamic shifts are there. So let me make the use case by making the Zoho people. This is a Zoho people of overall configurations. So if we move to the settings app, here you can see the timesheets, attendance shifts, performance, and files. These are the modules present in the Zoho people. So we point out to the attendance. The here is the attendance module. Inside the attendance modules, we can choose as per our wish. So here is the methods. So select the methods that you commonly use in an organization to track your employee attendance. As per your organization wish, you can make the methods. There is a regularizations, on duty, hourly permissions, break, and so on. For regularization, an option given to employee to raise a request and rectify their incorrect or missed attendance entries. Yeah, so we can choose this. So on duty is used to mark the presence of an employee who is working away from their office location, such as on a work site. So client locations or working from home, so we can also choose the on duty form. The hourly permissions, it set up a hourly permissions for a short request for time away from work during a office hours. So if your company need a break time for example, if the short break consists of the 15 minutes of a short break, you can make the break hours. And also for the lunches, you need to shift within a 1 hour. The lunch break will be should be done. So in such case, you make choose of the break. So all the process was done. Kiosk, which means an on-site attendance management solutions that lets employees check in and check out through a quick photo capture. So it is, if you need this process, so you can also choose a kiosk. So office in and remote in. So check-in will be differentiated as either office in or in remote in order to differentiate office goers and remote workers. If you are a company or adapt to this environment, you can choose the office in and remote in. So after choosing of these sections, we may here in the left panel, you can choose the attendance policies. So here is the attendance policies. You can choose here the working hours. So working hours define how you want working hours to be calculated in your organizations. As per your wish, you can calculate, you can set up the working hours of the attendance policies in this field to calculate the total working hours from. There's a two options. So first check-in and last checkout, or every valid check-in and checkout. So you can choose which options you have adapt to your organization. You can choose that options. So first check-in and last checkout means mm, uh, the working hours will be calculated from when you check in and when you get checked out. For example, you have check-in at the time of 10 a.m. and check out at the time of 9. So at night. So there is a 10 hours 30 minutes of durations in that. So the 10 hours 30 minutes working hours will captured into your attendance. So every valid check-in and check-out, which means if you check in at 8 a.m. and check out within the 10 a.m., that was calculated. So there's a 2 hours difference between. So after 11, you have check-in once. So and within 2, you have make checked out. So there is a 2 hours of interaction. So 2 plus 2, 4 hours of working hours calculated. This is the two different parts of first check-in and last checkout and every valid check-in and checkout. So I here choose first check-in and last checkout. So expected hours per day. So your organization have the strict rule. You must log in strictly for 8 hours. So in such conditions, you may choose a strict mode and make a set manually or shift hours. Here the two options. So if you choose a set manually means, so for full day it's a 8 hours, Half day means the employee must work for 4 hours if they are in a half day. If they are in a full day, the employee must work for 8 hours. So in a lenient, if you choose a lenient mode, there is a two options. So expected hours per day, you can expected hours. It's not a compulsory a strict rule. It is expected hours we can choose. So if I choose a strict mode, I had preferred if the employee works for a full day, they should work for 8 hours. And if they choose for a half day, they must work for 4 hours. So I have choose these options. So and allow you and allow and also allow overtime and deviations of these options. If allowed, the system will calculate the extra and defer time based on logged hours. So which means if you check in at 9 and forgot to check out the log till tomorrow. So at that time, it will get overtime logged hours will be stabbed within a 24 hours. So you, for that conditions, we can choose allow overtime and deviations. So impose maximum hours per day, round off. Round off means use this option to automatically adjust employee check-in, check-out, and total working hours to be rounded time. So for this, you can make. So if you choose round off first check-in and yearly check-in. So if you choose a yearly check-in, round off to the shift start time. So you can choose here 20 minutes. So you have choose here. So pay days. Here is the pay day or hours calculations. So here define how the pay days are per hour are to be calculated in your organizations. You can select weekends, holidays, and leaves. So select options including payroll also. Late night work hours. Somebody have a hectic works or to make. So if they work of late night hours, it will also be able to capture the logging hours and working hours in the Zoho people. So by clicking these actions, so define a period of time each day that will be considered as a late night work hours. Employees work hours during this period will be tracked separately to facilitate a separate pay calculations. If in your organization there is a option, there is a um, favor if they work on a late night, you may provide us some credits to the employee. So in such case, you can make choose of a late night working hours. So also you can choose the hours times. So we have choose to have, we can choose here 4. So add working hours. Effective date policy of absent records. Select the date from which the absent records of your employee should be updated based on their policy defined below. So you can select what date from this joining date. You can be add the date. So after doing of all this, make a save. Update older attendance. Okay, confirm. Yeah, okay, all sets well. So if the attendance policy get completed, then move to the overtime policies. Here the overtime policies. In overtime policies, it's define your organization's overtime policies to track employees extended their works and facilitate to overtime pay, like the night working hours. Here the overtime policies also tends to credit a particular employee by making the pays. So by this overtime policy defines how extra working hours beyond the shift, right? Beyond the shift, how extra working hours are calculated, approved, and paid, or some paid or some compensated. So OT policies ensure that overtime is calculated fairly, automatically, and as per company rules. So in Zoho people, the actual working hours minus shift hours is equal to the overtime. Yeah. Zoho people, we normally use a shift timings, break hours, check in and check out policies to calculate how much additional time an employee worked. But also, if the employee need a overtime policies, so we have made the compensate or give any pay policy to that particular employee. So if you create the add overtime policies, you can make the policy name as, for example, there is a auto overtime. So by this system automatically calculates overtime without any approvals. So here also you can choose the locations or departments or employee type. So here you can select all locations. What are the locations you have? I have choose all locations. Here see overtime policy applicability priority order, employment type based, department based, and location based. Yeah. So overtime rules, there are these are the overtime rules: daily overtime, weekly overtime, monthly overtime, weekend overtime, and holiday overtime. Daily overtime. If the employee what tends to work the daily overtime, so we can choose the daily overtime rules. So track employees daily overtime and extended overtime hours. If the employee was weekly once, every weekly they make overtime policies. For that we can choose the weekly overtime policies and track the employees weekly overtime and extend the overtime hours. For monthly overtime, which means it's same as weekly overtime and daily overtime. The monthly overtime for month, uh, they make a overtime means to track employees. Likewise, a weekend overtime and holiday overtime. So now we can choose, for example, here daily overtime. If you click the daily overtime, under the daily overtime, the work has existing the specified daily limit or recorded as daily overtime. So here you can choose the working hours exceeding per hours or per day, working hours exceeding the shifts. I have choose a working hours exceeding for 3 hours. If I click the weekly overtime, it also shows only the working hours, not a shift. So if I choose the monthly overtime, it also choose only the working hours, not a shift, because daily basis only they are asking a shift, right? So here there is no the shift options. We can't able to choose only in a day. We can choose the shift allocations. After this, we also make the notifications like enable notifications and set limits to trigger alerts. Alerts will be sent to employees and their reporting managers, like notify here that these are the options, like notify when monthly overtime exceeds the given limit. So every organizations, if they need a overtime work, they make a limited of time like 3 hours or 4 hours only need to provide overtime limit. If the employee got exceeds of that particular timing, means it get notified to the manager or HR to the reputed organizations. So second, the notify when yearly overtime exceeds. After exceeding, it get notified, and before getting exceeds, it get notified to the particular manager. And also here, excluding weekend extend overtime. So if notify when the monthly overtime limit exceeds the specified number of times in a year, it also get a notified. So I choose here notify when monthly overtime exceeds the given limit. Given limit, I have here give the limit of 4 hours. So I make the options as add. Okay, so we can choose yes. Yeah, the policy was get added successfully. So let me move to the check-in and checkout process. Here is the check-in checkout process of the Zoho people. So it's configure access permissions for default attendance actions. Like we can give the permissions both we can use a check-in and checkout process in web and also the mobile. And also make the location sharing mandatory during check-in. So we need to make whether the employee are in office and after make a check-in or while traveling they make a check-in. Also we can able to check by these options by making location sharing mandatory. If you try to make a check-in through mobile or web, the location is very mandatory. So if we choose this, it will get mandatory while we make a check-in or check-out. The locations will also shown. So here are these are the options. Track and show check-in and check-out locations. Show all check-in and check-out entries. Yeah. Restrict checkout to the same source user in a check-in. Restrict check-in. Yeah, this is not possible. If you check-in mobile once means after uh, if an emergency you go without checkout in the web means you definitely do the checkout in the mobile. If you choose this means it's not possible way. So restrict check-in and checkout entries made through iOS assistants. No, some many of them have the Android also now. So we don't able to choose these options also. So next the show current check-in and checkout status. Yeah, it's a meaningful thing because our collaborate with one another. So we can choose the show current check in checkout attendance status. Show yearly late information of check-in check. It's not mandatory one. If you need, if you can show. So if your organizations need a facial recognitions of the check-in and checkout, we can you can also make of these settings. So by capturing and save employee photos during check-in and check-out through web and mobile app, if you need, you can choose and capture and verify employee photo during check-in and check-out through web and mobile app. So you if you can means you need to select this mobile and also in the web. So permissions to view, add, and edit entries. Okay, this is the main part here. So we give permissions to HR and our own selves. So because there is no permissions to enter or change data of the particular employees, so you can choose these options. So check-in and check-out reminders here. So by this, it's automatically send check-in and check-out reminder to employee just before and after the shift. If the employee has alerted to the shift of a morning shift, but he or she didn't check-in for till 12. So the if you choose this reminder options means if the reminder will go to he or she you didn't make a check-in, so it's very useful now. So we can choose here. So before shifting start time, before shift starts 1 hour, after shift has 1 hour. Yeah, it is a customizable email template. If you choose here, your shift begins at shift start time, enter your market. So if you choose here means you can the app in-app notifications it will show to the particular employee about the awareness of not check-in. So then late check-in, yearly checkout, and missed attendance alerts. For these problems also we can make the notify for our preference. So check-in and check-out time predictions also is there. So by this, analyze the employees' historical attendance data to predict their check-in and check-out times. It's when enabled, the employee's usual check-in or check-out time is shown in their profile view, like here. We are in the settings. So if we go here, here you can see the attendance view of this. So by here we can also make the calendar view. So whether the particular person is absent or make check-ins. So all details we can see in the attendance tab here. So then after that we move to the regularization. Regularization is an option given to the particular employee to raise a request and rectify their incorrect or missed attendance entries. Yes, it's very useful to the every employees in the organizations. Once they forgot to apply to make a check-in or check-out and forgot to make a put the time sheets. But they worked for many hours. So for this, the regularization options will be used. So create a new check-in and check-out entry, replace the existing first check and check-out. So these are the restrictions and regularizations of the attendance policies. And here you can see the on duty. So on duty is used to mark the presence of an employee who is working away from their office locations, right? Such as work sites, client locations, or working from homes. So by this, we can make allowed durations as a full day, half day, quarter day, and hourly. We can choose the options as per your organizations. So and also there is a types of on duty for client visit, home, work from home, and also we can also customize the data as our wish. So restrict on duty request for future dates. You can make these options to avoid the future dates of on duty. So make reasons mandatory. Yeah, if he or she in a work from home, I need a mandatory reason why she or he is in a work from home, why she or he is not are not in a office, whether they are in a client visit, whether they are in a work from home, whether they are in a any other work. So it's a mandatory. I make a reason mandatory. So make supporting documents mandatory for on duty request. Yeah. So if they request me of the on duty also, I need a proper documentations or a proper reasons. So in such case, I will choose the make supporting documents mandatory for an on duty request options. After choosing all these conditions, let's make this safe. Yeah, it's done. So then we move to the break. So, if your organization has, if example, there is a short break, okay, you can choose a color icon as per your wish. Here is, and also make the icon here. So, okay, it's a tea break, short tea break. Type paid break mode, automatic or manual. You can choose automatic. Allocate break time, fixed time, or based on has work. No. So I have choose here as 11, sorry, 11 a.m. to 11:40. Applicable shifts, general for all shifts, night shifts, and rotational shifts. Let's make save. So, yeah. So the sorry, I hear me because spelling mistake is such short break. Ah, here it is. So for lunch break, you need so make you also create as lunch break. Choose whatever you need, and also the icon whatever you need. Then it's a paid automatic for lunch hour. It's uh, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Yeah. You also choose all rotations. Yeah. If your organizations, okay, okay. If your organization have to break time should be within a night shift's time. Okay. Cancels. That is a shift process. Okay. Likewise, you can make if your organization follows a strict rules of the breaking break format, you can choose create a break times under the specific policies. The specific policies we can configure the various attendance related settings that can be customized specifically for shifts or particular employees. You can make that. For example, here you can see the specific plan for the shift. For the shift at general and also use night and also use shift rotationals, you can see here. So if I choose night means it's not workable because I choose here 8 hours. So let's make this. What's yeah, confirm. Okay. Then make the pay period. This is the pay period. You can make integrations with the Zoho people and Zoho payroll and make the if every month month and before 2 days, like if the month has a 30 days before 20 at the date of 28 you can get two payments. You can create this pay period sections and also make a process have its auto reject auto select automatically converted for all employee type. Here see pay period summary. So upcoming pay cycle is 20 December to December 2025 to 1 January. So this is the loss of pay details report, leave enhancement details, and expected versus worked has report of the period will be processed on a 1st Jan from 11:59 payment. It is a common rules in it's in the Zoho people. So make the cancels. So in the reports, you can see allow reporting manager to access attendance reports. If allowed, reporting manager will be able to view their reports attendance. So if you give the access to the reporting manager to view all the data, whatever happened in your organizations, you can choose here. Expected versus working hours. You can see the permissions to the reporting manager. Employee for self means you can choose that. So these are the configuration process of the attendance. After saving, after getting of all this, you make the save of the process. Next, move to the extended services. Extended services, you can create it. It is a tech part of it. So after make the approvals, you can also make the approvals by using the templates of creations, check-in and check-out process of approvals. So these are the tech part of all. So here permissions, you need to give the permissions for in the attendance administration means you can choose all the details whatever you need, and the tagged users will take the responsibility of being the attendance administrators for all members of the tagged user groups. And additionally, access the permissions can be configured here. So any user can be assigned as attendance administrator. The attendance administrator privileges are not dependent on their hierarchical role in the organizations. Yeah. So these are the process of the attendance. So let's we move to the shift. So this is the shift. In the first panel, we can select the default work shift for employees. By default, will be mapped to the default shift unless they are specifically mapped to another shifts, right? So by this, you can choose, and also you can create shifts. So here, by using a manage shift, you can create a shift as per your organization wish. So and also make the auto shift assignment. So in auto shift assignment, it automatically assigns shift to employee in real time. Which means in a based on their check-in time. If the employee make their check-in at the time of 9 a.m., it will consider as a general shift. So with that, like the auto shift assignment will operate only for current date entries without impacting the past data. So here, by make the employee notification. So here the examples they given. If the general shift means a 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Or as per your organization rules, you can make the general shifts, noon shifts, and also make the rotational shifts. So here you can make the employee notifications about the year when the shift is assigned or updated. And the employee get notifications by email or in-app notifications. Yeah, applicable to all users, right? So then move to the shift per patterns. In shift patterns, it's define a predefined sequence of shifts that automatically repeats over days, weeks, or months. It helps companies to manage employee who work rotational, cyclic, or multi-week schedules. Shift patterns eliminate the need to manually assign shifts every day. Why shift patterns are used here means it's a useful when employees do not work the same shift daily. So as per this pattern, you can choose add shift pattern. Here is the pattern name. You can choose the pattern name. You can make the pattern type weekly, monthly, or custom. Custom means you can choose as per your wish. Next, the shift pattern changes every 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, like so. Define shift pattern. The night, you can make the here you can make. So, for example, weekly rotations have the three shifts: morning, evening, night. So, and week off. So, week one in the morning, and week two is in the evening, week three is in the night, or week four is in a half. By in such case, the Zoho people will automatically rotate shifts every week. So, guys, as we come to the end of today's deep dive webinar on Zoho People's Attendance Engine, let's take a moment to reflect on what we have learned. Over the last 45 minutes, we explored how Zoho People empowers organizations to build a smart, automated, and highly accurate attendance ecosystems. We have covered shift management from simple fixed shifts to complex shift rotations and shift patterns to support the 24 by 7 operations. And the attendance policies we can cover, including late marks, yearly leaves, break rules, grace periods, overtime controls, absenteeisms, and location based restrictions. All the attendance policies we have covered, and also see the productivity and the compliance, how accurate time lock approvals and reports support better workplace planning and reduce payroll errors. Um, so here I have made the pool section. I have here enclosed with the two questions. Please um, make attempt of the pool two questions. So how does your organization currently track employee attendance? There are three options: biometric machines, spreadsheet manual tracking, or other tools. Okay. Okay. So next questions I have posed here. Guys, there is a second poll questions for you. Please answer them. Yeah, many of them are facing incorrect or missing shift allocations. It's the biggest challenge you face with the talent management. So for that aspect, Zoho project transforms the project management from a manual scattered process into a structured, automated, and a data-driven experiences. So thank you for participating in today's webinar. Your engagement and curiosity made the sessions valuable.